Tonight on CTV News at 5.
Never thought I would get back to where I am now.
Long-term effects, brain injuries can last far beyond the moment of impact.
Everyone finds their little joy, their little treasure.
And the Halifax Keychain Library. This unique collection opens the door to community connection.
It's a cloudy and chilly night ahead for the Maritimes, along with some areas of both rain and fog.
Live from the Maritimes News Center, this is CTV News at 5.
Good evening and welcome to CTV News at 5. I'm Maria Panopalis. Thank you for joining us. First at 5 tonight, On the Mind. Millions of Canadians live with a brain injury, from a concussion to a stroke. They can come in many forms and they can have a profound impact on the patient and their family. CTV's Brianne Foley met with Maritimers who know the importance of care and support beyond the injury. Brianne.
Yes, Maria, as June is Brain Injury Awareness Month, those who live with the impacts want to shine a light on an injury that isn't always seen.
Had a traumatic brain injury, and I found out through digging and helping through my family, and I found Peter's place, and it's saved my life.
Bria Shea experienced a traumatic brain injury when she was working in the military in 2020. It's been a challenge to find her new normal.
I'm writing with my left hand. The brain is so, it can bounce back very quickly. It's got to be in the right mindset, around the right people, and all that kind of stuff. And you can bounce back, and now look at me now. I'm walking again after I was told I might be in a wheelchair forever.
The effects can last a lifetime.
Having one sibling who had a brain injury event at 16 years old, and she's in her 40s now. So it has colored and touched every aspect of our lives.
Nonprofits like Brain Injury Association of Nova Scotia and Peter's Place offer support.
I've been here the last 5 years and am on my way to a full recovery, which is amazing.
We're able to give them a level of understanding of what they're going through, what they're living with. It's not always easy, that's for sure. A very unseen injury that people are dealing with every day.
In Nova Scotia, a lot of people are surprised to learn that over 70,000 individuals are impacted by brain injury, and each year we see 17,000 new cases.
June is Brain Injury Awareness Month and aims to shed light on the often unseen injury.
Brain injury can affect anyone at any time, so that includes stroke, falls, concussions, even illness and overdose.
One thing about the family experience is that it's largely invisible and it's largely hidden. You can never see what's going on in the background.
Celebrating 7 years on Saturday, Peter's Place offers a weekly schedule of activities that are always open for drop-in Monday to Friday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Maria?
Oh, good information. Thank you, Brianne. CTV's Brianne Foley for us in the news center this evening. All right, we're going to head over to the anchor desk now where Todd Battis is standing by with a look at the headlines.
Hi there, Maria. Yeah, coming up at 6 o'clock, the mother of an infant whose remains were found in a wooded area on the weekend in Halifax has died. The 23-year-old woman appeared to have just given birth and was brought to hospital in life-threatening condition. 2 people related to her appeared in court facing charges related to the case. We will have the details from Callum Smith at 6 o'clock. Some people living in Woodstock are causing a stink about a smell. They say the smell of chips is constant after Covered Bridge built a factory in the community. Now more than a dozen of them are making legal claims against the potato chip firm. We'll get the details from Woodstock in your newscast. Drivers in New Brunswick and PEI woke up to lower prices at the pumps this morning. Doesn't that feel good? And while the savings are welcome, at least one expert says, don't get used to it. We could be in for an expensive summer on the roads, and there's reason why prices are going up in Nova Scotia. We'll tell you about that, too. Right now, let's bring in CTV meteorologist Kayla Mitchell with details of a beautiful November day.
Yes, I wish the temperatures were going up, Todd. Yeah, it's chilly out there. We're taking a look at some temperatures now, moving into the first part of this evening. You can see we've got some low single digits showing up for a few areas the east of Nova Scotia. 3 degrees right now at Sydney, 4 being reported at the weather station near Canso and Guysborough County in the east of that province. Other parts of the Maritime seeing some temperatures right now, mostly in the range of 7 to 11 degrees. But the mildest part is right in the southwest of Nova Scotia, where a few areas are coming in with some temperatures right now at around 12, 13 degrees. It is a north and northeast wind blowing across the region. Most areas are seeing this wind sustained between 10 and 20 kilometers per hour, but there are some higher winds around parts of the Atlantic coastline of Nova Scotia. The weather station at Beaver Island right now reporting a sustained wind near 57 kilometers per hour and a wind gust at 72 kilometers per hour. Earlier today, there were some stronger winds for northern Inverness County and Cape Breton, a wind warning in effect for a brief period of time, but those winds have diminished as we went into and through the afternoon. We also still have some wet weather in place for the region. We have rain that's been pretty persistent throughout the day around Prince Edward Island into the southeast of New Brunswick and northern eastern areas of Nova Scotia, including Cape Breton. Other parts of the region for today were mostly cloudy with some patchy drizzle and showers. And you know what? There's not much change overall in the weather conditions as we make our way through tonight and into Friday. It's a very stagnant weather pattern right now. And I'll talk more about what that means when I'm back a little bit later on. Maria.
Thank you very much, Kaylin. Right now, time for our first break. Coming up next, we'll head out to Halifax Seed with Emily Trigano. She's got some details on perennials and how to take care of them this time of year. Before we go to break, though, we want to take a moment to remember a longtime colleague and friend at ATV who passed away this week. Sonny McTavish joined CJCB TV in Sydney in 1957 as a studio camera operator. Over the next 41 years at ATV Cape Breton, he rose through the ranks, becoming a production supervisor. Then in 1994, he became station manager of ATV Sydney, a post he held until his retirement in 1998. Sonny was a well-respected gentleman and was well-liked by everyone he worked with. Not a bad word has ever been spoken about him in this building, that's for sure. Sonny McTavish passed away Sunday. He was 87 years old. Condolences to his friends and family. We'll be right back.
The Garden Guide is brought to you by Halifax Seed, growing for 160 years.
Welcome back to CTV News at 5. We're here at Halifax Seed with Emily Trigano. Nice to see you again.
Good to see you too.
Today we are talking about perennials.
Perennials are so great. Having a perennial garden, it's low maintenance. The plants come back year after year. You don't have to do a whole lot. So the biggest part about perennial gardens is planning. So you want to make sure you've designed your perennial garden with heights, textures, bloom times, and most importantly, you want to match the plants to the environmental conditions you have.
Ooh, okay, so for example?
So if you have a really shady area, don't go plant something like a succulent-based plant that is going to want full sun and dry soil.
Right.
So you want to make sure you're able to pair the plant to the environmental conditions and also the space that this plant is going to take. So many perennials can die back in the fall, and then they're going to come back again in the spring. They're going to come back bigger. So you want a sense of how large the plant is going to be, when it's going to bloom. So if you want to time some of your annuals and a certain color of annuals to when, you know, something like a coneflower is going to bloom, you want to make sure you have that timing right.
Yeah, so timing really is everything.
Absolutely.
And if you want something blooming at all times, you might want to pick something that blooms in July and then something else that blooms in August and so on and so on. Yeah.
Absolutely. But you know, perennials are so great because you can get so many shapes, sizes, colors, and textures. Creating a perennial garden is easy.
So you got a few out here and some behind us, and they really do come in all shapes and sizes.
Absolutely. So when you're looking at your space, you can really gauge, what do I want here? If there's something right in the back, go with the tree. Go with something that maybe it will be a blooming tree. So, you know, maybe you want to look at a magnolia or a lilac or maybe a standard hydrangea. If you need something a little bit smaller and you want color first thing in the spring, these azaleas behind us are absolutely stunning. So all kinds of really great plants you can incorporate into your property and into your yard that will keep it beautiful all year.
But you do need to feed it a little bit, hey? Yeah.
Always recommend, especially in the spring, right? I feel like a broken record here, but after the winter, all the nutrients leach out. Always make sure you're adding some nutrients back in. So a good all-purpose organic fertilizer will help keep that organic matter going.
Always great advice. Thanks, Emily.
Thank you.
We'll see you next week.
See you then.
Well, certainly some rain and some showers around the region for all those plants today. We're looking out here at Shuby Park, where we're sort of passing showers. The more consistent rain, the more persistent rain in the region was mostly for eastern parts of the Maritimes, including around Cape Breton, Prince Edward Island. I'll have an update on that after the break.
CTV and Bermuda Air want to send you on a Bermuda escape. One lucky viewer will win a trip for two to Bermuda, including round-trip airfare from Halifax Stanfield International to St. George's, plus 3 nights in a deluxe water view room at Cambridge Beaches, Bermuda. To enter, go to ctvatlantic.ca or click on the QR code on your screen right now. We'll announce the winner on Friday, June 5th. Good luck, everybody. Kaylin Mitchell joins us now. Kaylin, I'm telling you, this does not feel like May. It feels a little more like April these days, hey?
Yeah, temperatures are certainly below average for the end of this month around the Maritimes. That's going to continue as well as we move through Friday into the upcoming weekend. Looking out here at Shediac, or near Shediac area in New Brunswick, and that is a little bit of rough surf as we had some blustery winds out of the north and northeast for today. Had some water views of our own here in the Maritimes, so not just talking about the coastal conditions, but in some cases rain on windows and passing showers and a little bit of drizzle. On our weather systems map, barometric pressure is lower. We do have another low pressure system making its way past the Atlantic coastline of Nova Scotia. This one's going to slow down. It's going to stall in the vicinity of Sable Island as we move through tonight. And what that means is that we're going to see more rain wrap around that low and back towards eastern parts of the Maritimes. So a lot of those areas that have been seeing a lot of the rain for today, there's more rain in the forecast for tonight and for tomorrow. That would include Prince Edward Island, the southeastern corner of New Brunswick, and the northern and eastern areas of Nova Scotia, especially along the North Shore and moving into Cape Breton. In fact, we can see the rain still in place for that part of the region as we take a look at things on radar. In other areas of the Maritimes, there are some isolated showers moving through or maybe a little bit of patchy drizzle. Want to turn our attention a little bit closer towards Cape Breton, though, because there we can see some brighter colors showing up on radar. There's some yellows into oranges. That's indicating higher rainfall rates. Some of those occasionally have been in the vicinity for parts of Cape Breton County, as well as Victoria County. And that area of Cape Breton could wrap up with some higher rainfall totals by the time this wet weather starts to wind down, which will be Friday evening and Friday night. Potentially some local rainfall totals in the range of around 40 to 70 millimeters. So keep an eye on any of those areas that might have a little bit more in the way of some poor drainage. Maybe you're familiar with a few spots where the water ponds a little bit. When you've got sort of a long duration rainfall, those areas could collect some water here as we make our way through tonight and for tomorrow. Taking a look at our forecast timeline for tonight and tomorrow, so that rain continues on in eastern parts of the region. There may be some snowflakes that mix in up in the Cape Breton Highlands. That's how chilly the air is right now, sitting above the Maritime region. Other parts of the Maritimes, including New Brunswick and western areas of Nova Scotia, will be cloudy with some patchy drizzle or fog, and those type of conditions could be around for the start of the day on Friday. Moving into Friday afternoon, it continues to be some rain around Prince Edward Island, the east of Nova Scotia. Other parts of the Maritimes mostly cloudy with a low chance of a shower. And then heading into Friday evening and Friday night, the rain in the east finally begins to diminish down to some drizzle and some fog. And then the forecast for Saturday for the Maritimes, a lot of cloud cover, but a lower chance of some showers. Winds in the forecast for tonight remain out of the north and northeast and will still be gusty, especially for the province of Nova Scotia. Some gusts of between 30 and 50 kilometers per hour throughout the night. And then tomorrow's winds as well stay out of that north and northeast direction, kind of locked into this weather pattern at the moment. Most low temperatures around the Maritimes tonight will fall down to around the low to mid single digits. That's chilly by late May standards. And then high temperatures in the forecast for tomorrow, once again, well below averages for this time of the year. High single digits, low teens, mostly for the province of New Brunswick, 7 degrees for Charlottetown and Prince Edward Island, and most of the highs for Nova Scotia, 5 to 10, except a little bit milder in the southwest. All right, let's take a look at our weather watcher for tonight. And tonight's weather watcher is coming in from 8-year-old London Daphne from Tangier, Nova Scotia. And London has sent us in a colorful drawing of the sun going down. Thank you, London. Great job. And let's go over to Maria.
Thank you very much, Kaylin. So ahead of the IWK telethon this weekend, we've been sharing patient stories. Tonight, we introduce you to a courageous young girl named Cammie.
How could I describe Cammie? She's a bundle of joy, happy, nothing brings her down.
The IWK came into our family's life when Cammie was born. She had a club foot, so we needed to go to the IWK at just a few days old to get that checked. At just 3 months old, we find out that she had a heart murmur. A few more things pop up for Cammie, and she eventually had her first open heart surgery. A lot of things were adding up. She was diagnosed with MPS 6 at about 3 years old.
Hearing the diagnosis that was so rare, it scared me.
We were lost and scared.
We didn't know what to expect. But when we got to the IWK hospital, we felt like we were part of the family.
What I like most of going to the IWK is I know that they are going to help me and they're just gonna make me feel better.
MPS 6 is a rare genetic disease where you're missing an enzyme in your cell, and that enzyme is responsible to clean all the garbage. So if you don't have that enzyme, it makes inflammation in organs, tissues, bones. So it's a progressive disease, so eventually you need surgeries. When Cammie started treatment, we were going to the IWK every week for infusion. This was a new treatment. After a few months having that treatment in the hospital, we have the opportunity to have that treatment at home. The treatment that she have every week, it's like a version of the enzyme that she's missing. So that helps her slow down the progression. Cammie has undergone 10 surgeries so far, including 2 open heart surgeries, 2 hernia repairs, finger trigger release, carpal tunnels, and ear tubes. She is followed by more than 15 specialists at IWK and a team of over 20 people. We're just grateful that she can still walk and eat by herself and breathe on her own. It could have got really worse. I think that the IWK saved Cammie's life by diagnosing her really early. Having the IWK so close to home is very important to us. Even though it's a few hours drive, we call it close because we're so grateful.
Every time we went there, she was like a daughter to the doctor, so she was in great hands.
If I could tell other kids of going to the IWK, it's like, don't be scared because they help you a lot and they makes you feel better.
Even though she's facing a lot of challenge in her life, she's always trying to be positive. She loves to have friends over, even though she's limited to do sports and activities. She's just enjoying the small things in life, and she loves to do Zumba. I think that Cammie loves Zumba because she can sing and dance. She loves the people at Zumba. She loves her instructor, Jocelyn, who she's so special to Cammie's happy life. It's where she can forget about all her challenge in her life.
My biggest dream for Cammie is that she has a long life, happy life.
My hope for the future is getting more strong and getting better.
From the bottom of my heart, I would say a big thank you to all the staff, the nurse, the doctors at the IWK. They really saved Cammie's life.
Without the IWK, I don't know where we would be today.
What I would say to the nurses and doctors is just like a big thank you to the bottom of my heart.
And thank you, Cammie and Mom and Dad, for sharing your story. Of course, the IWK Telethon for Children takes place this weekend on CTV, ctvatlantic.ca, and Crave. The annual tribute show is on Saturday evening, and then the telethon broadcast follows on Sunday from 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. We hope you'll watch and support our region's Children's Hospital. All right, time for a final break here on CTV News at 5. When we come back, though, we will unlock this story.
I'm Stephanie Seacoast in Halifax. Coming up on CTV News at 5, trinkets and treasures. I'll tell you about the Halifax Keychain Library and how it's spreading joy throughout the community. That's still ahead on CTV News at 5.
Welcome back. So you may have heard of little libraries for books or toys, but how about for keychains? As CTV's Stephanie Seacoast reports, a Halifax woman is spreading joy one trinket at a time.
As fast as Gemma Arthur can stock the Halifax Keychain Library, the treasures find their new homes.
Every day I fill it up. Every morning around 10:30, I try to make sure I get out there and fill it up for people.
The little library, located on Tower Road in South End, Halifax, hasn't even been open for a month, but it's already a hit.
I've had so many cool finds, though, in terms of little trinkets, like old things from the 90s, from cereal boxes, or like things from popular TV shows, things from toy boxes, whatever.
Any small item can be transformed into a keychain using a hand drill. There have been some very creative donations.
It's been like really cool because we've gotten a lot of like local artists who have brought their own little creations. We've had crocheted little things or artists who like painted little keychains.
People have come from near and far.
I came all the way from Cape Breton just to visit the Keychain Library. I saw it on Facebook and I knew that I had to come and see it for myself and give some creations.
Grace McNeil would love to see something like this back home.
Oh, absolutely. I think Cape Bretoners would love this kind of stuff. If we did one maybe in Sydney, I think maybe down on the boardwalk, I think it would get a lot of visitors.
Whether you take a keychain or leave one, Arthur is just happy to make her mark.
It's just a joy project almost that I wanted to bring to the community so that kids and adults alike could enjoy something.
A small way to bring the community together, one treasure at a time. Stephanie Seacoast, CTV News, Halifax.
Thank you very much, Stephanie. Kaylin joins us once again. Kaylin, what do you keep an eye on?
Well, coming up at 6, we'll talk about what could be the key to turning our temperatures around here in the Maritimes.
Good idea. Thanks for watching, everyone. The national news is next. Good night.